école où ils ont appris à être chef d'État, comment le chef d'État doit être. Sinon, je n'ai pas encore vu cette école. Et pourquoi nous devons ressembler forcément aux autres, faire comme les autres?
You have probably heard President Captain Ibrahim Traore mention the word puppet leaders. But who exactly are these puppet leaders who for years have been sucking the energy and wealth out of the continent and blatantly fooling Africans that they are independent and democratic? Is your president one of them? Well, try to pause this video and see which picture you catch. That will definitely be one of them. But that is not all. In this video, we reveal who the real puppet leaders in Africa are. So stay tuned, and a polite reminder to like and share the video. And if you are new here, kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you every time we upload content like this. So let's get started. Puppet leaders are not new in Africa. They have existed as early as the time of arrival of colonial masters. These are leaders who are willing to sell their people for their own benefit. Chiefs like Cetshwayo, the leader of the Shona in Central Africa. Kabaka Mutesa I of Buganda collaborated because they were receiving personal gifts from the colonialists, consequently mistreating their people for the benefit of the white master, making black subjects carry the white maters in stretchers as a means of transport. What a mistreatment. The big question, however, is what value do these leaders get in return for their favors? Is it worth the lives of their people? Most probably not. As you may remember, Kabaka Mutesa, the first of Buganda, is said to have exchanged a chunk of gold for a mirror. This example is a good expression of what exactly the puppet leaders get from the imperialists. However, having faced stiff resistance from determined African leaders like Shaka Zulu, King Mwanga, and Kabalega, among others, the colonial master realized it was going to be costly, if not impossible, to rule the African directly. What then did they do? They said, well, we can work with some greedy Africans, help them come to power against the will of their people. In return, they subdue their people against their will and enforce what we wish on their people. At this time, you must be asking, who exactly are the puppet leaders? William Ruto, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Paul Kagame, Alassane Ouattara, Patrice Talon, Nana Akufo-Addo, Paul Biya, Felix Tshisekedi, Denis Sassou Nguesso? Or is it Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mbasogo? Well, maybe. Adama Barrow? The puppet leaders in Africa are all around us. We cannot point a name and be satisfied. Rather, we point to you some key behaviors of puppet leaders. Puppet leaders are dealers, not leaders. Why do we say this? Dealers are always concerned about what they get. They do not mind the consequences of their actions to the rest of the citizens and the generations to follow. It is for this reason that many African countries have given away their mineral reserves to foreign countries and remain living as beggars, whereas their dealers pretending to be leaders live large. The imperialists come to an African country and tell the president of that country, you and your children have a home to stay in Europe. On top of that, you and your family members get a red passport. Give us a chance to take the minerals. After all, you do not have the technology to extract it. And the puppet goes like, deal. If your country has minerals and foreigners are mining the minerals, yet your community does not have schools, hospitals, good roads, etc., then your president is a puppet. If your president is flying a first-class jet, his family runs most of the businesses in the country, take pause and shout out aloud, am ruled by a puppet leader? You will know a puppet leader if every day new investors are arriving in your country and they are being allocated investment land in the country's natural resources and heritage. For example, wetlands being allocated to foreign investors, or cultural centers being destroyed to set up sugar factories. My brother, pause and shout out aloud, I am ruled by a puppet leader. Now this is getting serious. Does your country host meetings for organizations like East African Community Summit, ECOWAS, Intergovernmental Authority for Development, IGAD, COMESA, and many others? Well, your president is a puppet leader. Puppet leaders love these organizations very much because these organizations submit our crime scenes, where offenses against the African people are planned by their leaders. In fact, while we think these organizations are there to better the lives of African people, the bitter truth is they are there to better the lives of the puppets leaders and to guarantee their continued stay in power. In fact, when puppet leaders meet, they are discussing among themselves how each of them can cling to power forever. This brings us to the next pointer that will help you know if your president is a puppet. If your national army is deployed outside your country under a United Nations, ECOWAS, East African Community, etc. on peace support missions funded by the United Nations, United States of America, United Kingdom, European Union, the World Bank, etc., then your president is a puppet because he is exporting your soldiers to another country to kill fellow African brothers in exchange for the white man's money. Well, we hope you are getting closer to judging whether your president is a puppet leader or not. Let's move on and look at regular elections that incumbent leaders win with landslide victories, yet their security is extremely tight. Puppets leaders will always organize regular elections and win with big margins. But when they come to the people who elected them overwhelmingly, they are scared of them. They move as extremely tight security details. The truth is, they know they never won the elections, rather. They were helped by their imperialist masters to retain the helm of power. Puppet leaders are also very good at speaking about their country's development in figures, but when you actually get on the ground, you do not seem to see what they are talking about. They will tell you how they are planning to put up an electric train in the next 40 years, yet they cannot show you a ventilated pit latrine they have constructed in a public market for the past 20 years. Have you proved your leader is a puppet yet? Well, puppet leaders also tend to invest much in security in public order management, without investing in social infrastructure like roads, hospitals, schools, and safe water. Please get me right here, Burkina Faso is heavily investing in security, but we can tell you President Ibrahim Traore is not a puppet leader, because there is dire need for security in the country right now. But despite that, he is still balancing security with social infrastructure like mobile health clinics, development of a road network, safe water for the people, and in 2 years his fruits are seen. Well, we could give you more and more pointers. For instance, puppet leaders will keep recycling ministers and other public officials known to have embezzled public funds. And we tend to wonder why. This is because the imperialists tell them whom to appoint at what time. We believe if you have watched this far, you could be able to tell us whether your leaders are puppets or not. Drop the name of your leader in the comment section and tell us whether they are puppets or not. Until we meet again, thank you for watching.